What is up, everybody? Tonight, we're going to talk about something we've been waiting for a long time. Mike, it's been too long that they've made us wait for House of the Dragon.
Yeah, way too long, dude. Way too long.
Oh my God. But the wait is over, and season 1, episode 1 is in the books. And we are going to talk about our experience and what we think about what's going on. And this is not a spoiler-free zone. We're going to spoil everything that can possibly be spoiled. We're going to talk about what we think about the characters and what we think about what's happened. And hopefully that can help you think about your experience with the show and what, and maybe even help you catch some things that you didn't catch before. So, all right, Mike, I think maybe we should start with kind of a big overview of what the episode was about. And you can take it, or I can take it, or what do you think?
Well, for those of you that don't know, this is a Game of Thrones prequel. This is 170 years before Daenerys Targaryen was even born. So this is the story of the Targaryens, which, if you read the books, you know exactly probably what's going to happen or what may happen or whatnot. And I think the premise of this first episode was to introduce the characters in the craziest way possible.
Yeah, so I guess they have shown us the primary players. Now, if they follow the way that George R.R. Martin does things, because he has like 1,800 million characters, right?
Yeah.
A lot of characters. This does not have a lot of characters yet. So I'm not sure if they're going to introduce lots more or if they're going to keep this smaller and focus on these characters. But we have a chunk of characters, and we'll talk through them, and we'll talk about the plot a little bit. And ultimately, the big tension in the show is, I think, between three characters, right? And let me pull this thing up. And all right, so this is a character sheet, so to speak. So this guy right here, he is the king on the Iron Throne, right? He is the head of family Targaryen, right? Mm-hmm. And his wife through the episode dies in childbirth, and the child was a son, and he dies, and so that leaves him with a daughter, right? And she is the heir apparent, and that's this girl here. How do you say it? Do you know? Rhaenyra Targaryen. Well, the king has a brother who's this dude, Daemon Targaryen, and he had been the heir, but the king said, "Oh no, brother, sorry. It's going to be my daughter now because my wife's dead and my son's dead, and there's all this drama about that, but you're not it anymore, and GTFO, get out," right?
Well,
go live with your wife.
In all fairness, this Daemon guy is like, dude, he's like Littlefinger and Ramsay Bolton put together. Like, he's very cloak and dagger. He's very secretive, but he's like kind of behind the shadows. But you don't know whether he's going to be good or bad. I have a feeling he's going to be bad, but I'm so used to Game of Thrones changing things and killing people off and twisting things and messing around with the whole storyline of it all, that who knows. My initial assumption is that that guy could be bad, could be not good. Will he have like an intimate relationship with his niece? Possibly. I don't know.
Okay, so check this out. I was thinking about that.
For that.
So if you look at the lineage, so they started out with this old king, right? Mm-hmm. And this dude, he croaked, but these lines represent children. So apparently his son and daughter got together and produced the two brothers. So
are you sure?
That's what it shows right here. So up here in the top right in the legend, it says children, right? So they had three children: Aemon, Balon, and Alyssa. And then Balon and Alyssa kids got married.
No wonder these guys are all jacked up. They're all
right, and they had two children, right? Daemon and Viserys the first, and yeah, and then um, and
Marriage.
Damon's married to Rhea Royce, who is supposed to be someone he doesn't care for very much.
That they don't even show her face.
Yeah, they didn't show her in. I'm sure she'll maybe be in the. Well, he's supposed to go to her in the next episode, so maybe we'll get to see her.
Wait, so Rhaenyra, I guess. Oh, Balin was the baby that died.
Yeah, Balin Targaryen. Yeah, so named after his grandfather.
Yeah,
because they reuse all the names over and over and over. So to also comment on what you were talking about, there was a lot of tension between Daemon and Rhaenyra, however you say it, in the show, right? So they're definitely trying to make us think, at least, that there's going to be yet more incest in the Targaryen
I don't
family.
think we could say that on YouTube.
We can say that. We're fine.
No, dude, I'm telling you, they're weird. Anyways, the I word,
The
but
I word, yeah. So that they'll be potentially hooking up, right?
go to the left real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is House Valerion. Okay,
Yeah,
so that old lady right there was supposed to be the queen, but then she got passed up for Viserys because
that's right.
Even back then, misogyny was a thing.
Yeah, so like the old king, like all of his direct descendants croaked, right? They're all dead, and it left Viserys the first and Rhaenys, whatever, and they had this big thing where everybody voted or something, and the king picked Viserys, and she was all like super angry about it, but she never did anything apparently, right?
Right.
But I think they've planted more seeds there for her to go nuts on people, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice about this show that is, a continuity of the original Game of Thrones is that they've chosen actors and actresses that are relatively unknown. The only actress I know for sure, if you go to the right, spoiler alert on this one, Alicent Hightower, that's the young version of her. The older version of her is going to be played by, what is her name? She was in Ready Player One. Olivia Cook. Olivia Cook is her name. Olivia Cook is the older Alicent Hightower. So this just tells me they're going to kind of move forward in time a little bit. But if I go through each of the actors, I don't really know who these people are.
Yeah,
maybe
I don't. So I don't know who the king was. I don't know who any of these people are.
I definitely feel like they're setting up Millie Alcock for a Daenerys Targaryen, Emilia Clarke type of situation. So if they have 4, 5, 6 seasons of this is your next Emilia Clarke right here.
Right. You're talking about this girl right here.
Yeah.
So now
she is the future of this brand for now.
Yeah, and they're not going to, when they age up the characters, they're not going to replace her, right? Is that your understanding?
No. They're not replacing her. The only person they're replacing is the young Alicent Hightower with Olivia Cook. So this is the younger version. And this girl's very, very young. And then they're replacing her with Olivia Cook, who's probably in her mid-20s, I'd say.
Right on. So let's cover off on the rest of the characters real quick, so folks kind of get a feel for the rest of them. So, we talked about the king. His queen, she died in childbirth, and there was a lot of drama around that because he wanted a male heir. So they did like this really barbaric C-section to try and save the baby. Well, it got the baby out, and then the baby died, like, a day later. And that's what prompted him to then say, okay, my daughter, I've ignored you for far too long, and you're going to be my heir. And my brother, you have too much power, because they made him leader of the Gold Cloaks, and he formed that, and they felt he had too much power, so they're kind of exiling him to an extent. But over here, the Hightower. So Otto Hightower, this guy, he's the hand of the king.
Right.
And this dude is super mercenary, and he will do whatever it takes to get some power. Because when Viserys' wife dies, he's in mourning, and he sends his young daughter and I don't know how old she's supposed to be, but she's pretty young. And he sends her to him with the unspoken instructions to indulge him in any way that he would like to be indulged. And we don't know what kind of indulgences uh, he had, but that was insinuated. Um, Now this guy, the older brother of the hand, did he do anything in the episode? I don't remember him other than his face was there.
I don't think so. I think he's just
Yeah.
part of the thing.
Yeah. And then the daughter. And okay, so let's talk about, well, let's finish the characters, I guess. And then this guy who is on the small council, married to who could have been the queen, and they call her the queen that never was, or something like that, right? And they've got 2 children, and apparently the blonde hair is very strong in the family, extremely strong.
Well,
You know what I
well,
mean?
my question is how does on the father's side?
Is that natural?
You're right. I mean, let's address the elephant in the room. There weren't very many black actors in the original Game of Thrones, correct? Like, I don't remember if any.
No, there were some, but yeah, it was none of the main cast.
Characters. So
Yeah, none of the main
I'm
cast.
glad to see that they diversified a little bit. My girlfriend thought that Lenore Valerian looks like Will Smith's son. She said,
Oh yeah, he looks a little bit like Jaden Smith.
I think it's refreshing. I think it's cool. You know, it's a fantasy world. So really, there are no rules to anything. There are no time periods that they have to follow, right? So if we were in a history book, yeah, I mean this could be a different situation or a whole different kind of thing. But I'm glad that that happened and that we have some diversity in the cast.
I agree. Now another thing that, since we're on this side talking about House Valerian, so Valerian Steel, right, is the good stuff, right? There was no House Valerian in the original books, right?
That's because I think it ended with those 4 individuals right there.
Yeah, so this could be the end of the road for the Valerian house. So it's interesting to see what will happen with that. And then a few of the other characters. So we got Masseria, I guess, and they always have to have the pleasure house worker.
Oh yeah,
That's
she's
how
like
they.
she's like the little finger.
Yeah, she is the pleasure house worker.
She reminds me of Tyrion's.
Yeah, very his pleasure house worker.
His pleasure house worker, yeah.
And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when I'm sorry, when what's his face Damon leaves at the end, she was there to say goodbye or either to go with him. Did he take her? Because she was there. Remember at the end?
I think he did,
because she was patting the dragon, right?
I think I saw her fly away with him. So I think he's doing his own thing. He doesn't give a shit. First of all, he doesn't want to go back to whatever horrible looking wife that they gave him, according to him. According to him, she looked like a goat or a sheep or something, or the sheep were better.
Yeah, he was not very.
He wasn't very
nice as he described her. Yeah,
and one thing that really struck me is that once again, Game of Thrones is known for shock value. I was not expecting to see such a savage, birth and death of a like that. Whole scene was super powerful. I felt that it was done very well in a very strategic way to where they can get their point across, but they don't have to be so nasty or grotesque about it.
Sure.
I think it got its point across, and I know online I've seen people are kind of like, oh my God, what did they do? They, blah, 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 blah. The birthing scene is crazy. Women are up in arms. People are just looking for something to be up in arms about, unfortunately, in this society. And, in our culture, dude, at the end of the day, it's just a show. Like,
Yeah, I didn't really think one way or another about
well, that's because you and
the
I are reasonable people.
yeah, I mean it
You know
was
what I'm
fine. So
saying?
it was just a C-section as they would have done a C-section in our history actually,
Well,
and that's how they used to do it.
what's interesting is that they didn't, even the Maesters were like, they've done this to Citadel like once, you know, like they weren't, that wasn't a normal thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean surgery at that level, and the Maester's all like, "Well, we can get the baby out, but she's dead, right? We can't do anything about that, you know.
Right. And the fact that,
Once you take Humpty Dumpty apart, you can't put them back together. Once we cut her open like that, you know, there's we don't have sutures, and you know we can't do surgery, and there's no sedation other than the milk of the poppy,
you know,
right?
what kind of, they gave her so much already. I mean, she was still in pain. What what blows me away is this, like, this is kind of like a Ned Stark beheading scene, you know, where an important character dies. Uh,
Yeah, they're killing people with in the first episode, right?
right.
King and
They're
Queen,
killing
Queen's
off
dead.
main characters in the first episode,
Yep,
you
King
know,
Queen's dead. Yep,
and this
and
is like just George R. Martin's way of captivating his audience, you know, is, now I don't think it's the same writers though, is it?
I couldn't answer that question.
I
I don't
could.
know. I don't know.
Well, because it was who was it, D&D or whatever they called them on the original Game of Thrones.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know.
Should have been prepared to class, bro.
Well, I came prepared for this show. um,
Yeah, David Benioff and DB Weiss. So let's find out.
who wrote this one?
Yeah.
Well, while you're looking that up, Christian Cole is another character, and he's the son of the steward to Lord Blackhaven, and he did pretty well in a tournament where a bunch of people got
Yeah,
destroyed and killed and murdered.
he's from the same place. What's it called? He's from
Dorne.
Thorn. Yeah, where what's his face was from.
Yeah, the really attractive man.
Girls think he's attractive. I don't see it.
Now, where do you remember the three sisters
He's
at
the
the
man. I mean, he's the Mandalorian for God's sakes, but still.
now at the three sisters that were in the first series? I can't think of their names. Were they Dornish as well?
Which ones?
Toward the end, and they were very exotic looking, and they were
Oh,
fighters. And
yeah. I think so.
okay, anyway,
Okay.
the
So
Kingsguard. You've got Mister Redwine. Dude, he looks a little bit like Sean Connery, a little bit,
kind of.
and then Mister Westerling.
Ooh, this is in Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision.
Yeah,
That's really rad.
that's baller. Hold on, why is it not changing for the?
Okay, so George R. Martin seems to have more of a role in this because it was created by him and a guy named Ryan Condal.
You know what George R. Martin really needs to be doing?
Writing books.
Finishing the original series.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so as an aside, I did hear that they are. Let me just double check before I start spreading disinformation. I wouldn't want to be that guy. There's too many of those out there already.
and here's the Grand Maester that did the C-section.
Maesters are always so freaking weird.
And then we have a couple more people on the small council. He's this Beesbury is the master of coin, and then finally Lionel Strong, master of laws. And you know they pretty much crapped on this dude all the time. He does not feel like he has much authority. And here's another picture of the old king from 2 generations before.
See, okay. I'm trying to find.
What are you looking for?
Hold on. 11 hours ago. Okay, so I believe I believe that, okay, so supposedly there's going to be a Jon Snow spinoff in the future.
Sure, I've heard of that.
It's in development. They're talking about it. Nothing's been confirmed, but Kit Harington is um, willing to do it, which I wouldn't do it if he didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
You
he
can't
has to.
you can't recast Jon Snow. So I think that Rhaenyra's story could tie into the Jon Snow spinoff, since Jon Snow is a Targaryen. So maybe perhaps they could finally do something with the fact that he's, Aegon Targaryen.
Right, but he's like several generations down from her, though.
Correct. But I think this whole series that they're doing here, because the Jon Snow thing, they're talking 2025.
Right.
So that'll give this a few years to kind of develop, and then that can tie into the Jon Snow thing. I think what they're going to try to do with Game of Thrones is kind of what they're doing with Disney and, the Kenobi series and stuff like that. I don't know if they're going to do it short like this, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, it would be interesting if they can tie it together. I mean, they introduced some stuff that I've never heard of before. So, as an example, the king, Viserys, confides in his daughter, who he now believes will succeed him, that the house of Targaryen has been entrusted with the secret knowledge that they're the only people that can save the world from the coming apocalypse, right? And of course, we know that's when all the zombies and undead come across the wall, and that's comes true. But I don't think at any other time anything was mentioned about them having secret information, because certainly none of the kings of the Targaryens, none of the Targaryens were very interested in trying to save anyone in Game of Thrones. So maybe that gets lost. And they also weren't sitting on the Iron Throne at that point until the end, I guess. So I think that gets lost somehow. So there'll be a story there. The weather is warm during the show, so I guess winter is still coming for all of these people too, right?
Right.
So
they do address the prince that was promised, which everybody thought was Jon Snow during Game of Thrones. They do address it, and they do mention it already, in not only in the book, the Song of Ice and Fire novels, but apparently in the show as well. The prophecy, because I remember them saying this too, the prophecy was that an endless winter from the north would threaten the world of men, with only way of putting a stop to it for a Targaryen to be sat on the Iron Throne.
right, yeah,
Now,
that's what they
here's
told us.
here's where they screwed up. Here's where they screwed up bad on the 8th season of Game of Thrones. They should have made Jon Snow the king. Period. Find a way. I think the way it ended was horrible. I'm glad that I think this show has a lot of potential, to develop characters, to learn about the Targaryens. It's just too early to tell, though, how this is going to go. It's intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we knew how it was going to go, that'd be a problem. You know what I mean? We gotta.
Oh, dude, you could think you know how a Game of Thrones situation is going to go, but at the end of the day, even if the book says left, they go right. Just to fuck with you.
Yeah. Is there anything else of important that we need to talk about in the show that happened? I think we kind of get everybody caught up and talked about the main plot points, right?
Well,
but-
I think what Daemon Targaryen did was actually, we should do that now. Gather up all the criminals and just right in the courtyard. Then nobody would commit crimes.
Yeah, so
it may have been a little aggressive, but it got its point across. I mean, they were telling he knew that his city was getting out of hand. The crime was getting out of hand. So he trained this group of just guys that were just idiots, and he trained them to be like trained killers. and they just went out and just
he trained them to be hounds.
yeah, and they just
So
went out.
another tie over.
They went out and just did their job, you know. Um, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like I said, it was a bit aggressive, but you know,
I think the
sometimes
point was, I think what they were trying to show is that this guy can be absolutely brutal,
Mhm.
right? I mean, it's developing his character because he can just go out and massacre and maim and chop off limbs and not think about it at all. He's like, yeah,
Right.
people die, whatever, it's all good.
There was one part where I kind of cringed.
Well, yeah, we're not going to talk about that, but everybody's going to cringe on that one. Oh God, that poor guy.
They're all just like raper.
Yeah, he got what he deserved for sure. Yeah, if you don't know, go watch the show and
You
you can
know,
see it.
and like I said, I think justice needs to be handed out like this in real life because that would really, really detour people from crime. Really would.
Yeah, I'll keep my commentary just to the fictional world.
Dude,
Oh,
something needs to be done. or,
fictional
or,
world for me only.
or some kind of gladiator type situation.
Yeah, two people enter, one person comes out, kind of thing.
Dude, I would watch it. I would go see it. You know you would too.
Oh no, I'd take a hard pass on that. Yeah,
Why?
I'm not down. I don't even like boxing.
Really?
Yeah, MMA, all that stuff. I'm not a fan.
You're a lover, not a fighter. That's
That's
why.
right. I'm a thinker.
Same.
All right.
I wouldn't go that far.
Thanks. All right. I think that's enough for episode 1 of season 1 of House of the Dragon. So we're gonna do this for all of the episodes. So get ready to see the next one in about a week, and we'll be dropping these on our Audio Architects YouTube channel. It'll be
No,
dropping.
on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Well,
We should start a new YouTube channel just for this.
yeah, we can drop them all over the place. I'll drop a copy on my channel, and I'm going to dump it up on my Instagram as well. And you might want to dump it up on your Instagram too. But it'll be in lots of places. But we'll start a channel that we can stream to, just House of the Dragons or something. I
No,
don't know. We'll
no.
figure that out.
I think all things pop culture. Two
Yeah,
old
the
guys.
pop culture channel or something. Yeah,
Two old guys talking about pop culture.
that's right. I like it.
'Cause
Now,
why not?
we're going to close this episode out for House of the Dragon, but we'll continue on about some other pop culture things that
Wait. Before you get crazy, any predictions as to for episode 2? Any predictions?
yeah, so predictions. Okay. Damon goes back home to his queen.
Doubtful. I think he went off with the hooker.
Oh no, he takes her.
Oh,
He
okay.
goes home, he takes her. She gets all upset and she dies.
Who dies?
His wife.
Oh, he's probably gonna kill her.
Something. I think she's done for, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's totally
I don't even think there's an actress for it. Hold on. Let me double check that.
right on. The next prediction I have is that with this division now in the Targaryen family, Rhaenys is going to try and make some kind of power move.
I agree. I agree.
Lady. So
I
she's
think
going to do something.
I think oh wow, Maggie Q is in this.
Who's Maggie Q going to play? I love Maggie Q.
A
She's
lady
awesome.
named Divine.
Divine.
So
that's well, in any show set in modern times, Divine is always going to be like a stripper.
Stripper or hooker, yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so I know two faces out of everybody here. A lot of blonde Targaryens in here. What's this? What's the wife's name? Rhea Royce. Rhea Royce.
Rhea Royce? Oh, who?
The wife.
Oh yeah. Rhea Royce.
Dude, I'm not seeing one. I don't think we're gonna see a Rhea Royce in this show.
All right, let me see.
I don't think so, dude. I think you're right. I think that lady's gonna die.
Oh, hold on. In the television adaptation of House of the Dragon, Rhea is portrayed by Rachel Redford.
Oh, so she is going to have a thing.
Let's see if they have anything.
Lady Rhea.
They say that she is going to be in. Yeah, I don't know. This maybe she won't be in episode 2.
Oh, did you see the Stark in that little formal thing, like acknowledging that Rhaenyra is the new heir? There was a Stark that bent the knee.
Oh yeah, I saw the Stark. I'm all like, ooh, yeah. So they had a lot. So there are a lot more characters than we've talked about today. When Rhaenyra, however you say her name, was confirmed as the new heir, they had a lot of the heads of different families or houses come across and bend the knee, and there was a Stark there, right? So I'm all like, oh gosh. So they got to bring in all these other folks. I mean, right now they're really focused on this core group of people, but this might not be the big plot of the show, right? This might just be setup. You know what I mean?
So in the book, I hate to break your buck bubble. In the book, Rhea dies of natural causes after a 20-year-long unhappy relationship with Daemon.
Oh, okay. Well, that prediction doesn't come true.
But like I said, anything that happens in the book is just free game, because it's like, who knows? It could happen in real life, or not real life, but
in the new show.
In the new show, dude, I'm really excited about this. It had been a long time coming for a Game of Thrones, show. I am not happy that it's a prequel. I would have much rather it had been the Jon Snow sequel already,
Sure.
But if we have to cross this bridge to get to the other one, I'm okay with that, because it's just more content, dude, to consume.
And you might get your wish, right? Jon Snow can still become king.
Right. By the way, I really like what you did with your did you paint it black?
You mean behind me?
Yeah.
Here, let me
because that looks like it could have been white at some point. Was that white at some point and you painted it black? Or did it
No, so that's furniture, or I don't know, it's from IKEA. And
course, yeah.
It's these little wall plates on the bottom part that you can hang stuff on.
I have one right here, yeah.
And then above it is the displays, right? The glass displays. They're kind of shallow, and we're figuring out stuff to put in there. I've got a couple of pops, and then I've got the big D&D module for the vampire stuff. Curse of Strahd revamped. You can't see it; it's got too much glare on it. And then there's some Lego stuff, but we'll figure out all that stuff. But I've got like my extra headphones back there and tools and stuff, and that's 2 computer setups for my kids, my boys back there. And we'll probably get some nicer chairs, just because this is going to be background for me. And at least one Paxton can get a new chair, so you can see the back of a new chair instead of an old chair. But yeah, no, that's all new. And then like on this bookshelf to my left, which is on the right side of your screen, I guess, I've got some D&D books there, and anime and manga and stuff like that.
What was I going to show you? No, we'll save that for another day. Yeah, man, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, so I think that's enough for House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 1. And like I said, look for this on a weekly basis as we talk new content, new pop culture, anything and everything television. But we're going to follow all the episodes of this show for sure. And then we'll talk about other stuff as well as it catches our attention. Mm-hmm. So, Mike, did you want to talk about some more stuff tonight? Because we can put it out there, because we're done with Season 1, Episode 1 today.
No, I'm okay. We'll save it for next week.
Cool.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll come on your show next week or something. Or maybe I'll make my own show next week. I don't know.
Yeah, I can come on your show.
I don't know how. No pun intended. You sick.
Oh, you're nasty.
You sick man.
You're nasty.
I'm excited, dude. I think this is the age of content. I think that we're getting to a point where Let me get closer so I can be in focus. I don't have it on auto. We're getting to a point where content is king, you know, and we are realizing that we gotta cover it all, you know. I'm happy doing audio stuff and doing things like that, but I think there's going to be a huge tide changing, and a lot of new things are going to be happening. So for the people that haven't tuned in, I'm Mike from Audio Architects. You can find me at Audio Architects, spelled funny, and then you could find Jiles McCoy at Home Theater Fanatics.
Oh, yeah, I can't even get my hands to line up right. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this with you, buddy, every week. I think, like we talked about, there's no reason, if we have the time, there's no reason why we can't do, you know, more content and more live content and stuff like that. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it, and I'm happy doing it with you. So
yep. So as Mike said, look for more popular culture content, movies, TV, music, all the stuff that we love, games. If there's anything that you want to hear about, let us know, because we can talk about it.
I like it.
All right, everybody. Take care. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.